Hey, what's going on, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so Lakers. As I told you guys, the way I play this is one ear to them, no eyes on them. I will not be watching these games. I'm not surprised by the outcome. Everything I expected to see, pretty much saw, except for Keita B8's Diop. I don't think I said his name correctly, but he went 11 for 11, 30 points. He essentially had the game of his life against us. Um, I did see fragments of the game here and there, though. I tried to check them out as much as I could, and wasn't too sorry about missing what I did. I can't lie to you guys; they're a real disappointment this year, and nothing about that changed this evening. So we got our magic 14 turnovers, but that's not holding true because it's the second game in a row where we had 14 or fewer turnovers and did not compete. So that's not holding true as to where I've been saying, we can get 14 and stay in these games. Not the way we've been playing lately. Apparently not without AD. So, we were down like 7 guys. Obviously, everybody's dealing with the health and safety protocol. The spiel, the entire situation, you guys. So the Lakers weren't coming in full strength. And, you got what you could out of LeBron James and Russell Westbrook. But those two guys are just two men, and they don't have the pieces they need, as we've discussed many times. So when you're going up against a team like the San Antonio Spurs with a lot of young players, guys who are fully, their teams are fully together, and some of their guys are starting to develop properly, you're gonna have issues, and that's exactly what we saw tonight. The Lakers had a lot of issues. They did win the rebounding battle, which I thought was kind of surprising. But where they really hurt themselves was shooting the ball from 3 and from the free throw line. When you shoot 56% from the line and then turn around and shoot 18% from 3, and if I'm not mistaken, they shot 18% from 3 in the last game too. If you're going to do that, you're going to have a hard time beating, a high school team, to be honest with you. When you shoot that poorly from those particular spots and continue to be, aggressive in taking the 3, particularly. Obviously, you don't mind getting to the line, but if you're not going to make them, it does become an issue because you can't rebound very well. So guess what? No offensive rebounds off those free throws that are missed, and they turn into other possessions that we can't seem to get stops in. See, that's what happens. You're a bad defensive team, you're a bad rebounding team, you're a bad three-point shooting team, and you're a bad free throw shooting team. So you really can't beat anyone because the functionality of basketball requires you to be at least good at 2 out of those 4 things, or at least decent out of those 2. You have to be able to do those things, and we have deficiencies in those key areas. So that's why the score was 138 to 110 to end Staples Senior's tenure as Staples Center. Of course, the building's not going anywhere, but we will be Crypto.com arena next time we enter it. So, they had a nice ceremony where they brought out some guys: Luke Walton, Gary Payton, Byron Scott. I believe they brought out, Ron Artest. Of course, that's Meta. And they brought out somebody else, too. I want to say I thought it was Robert Horry. I think it was Rob. But, yeah, and they did a nice ceremony at halftime, and I was able to see most of that and enjoyed that. But the game itself, San Antonio came in with the ugly Fiesta jerseys and just lit us up, and that's what it was, man. They came in fully healthy, and I think that's the difference. They're only missing a couple guys, and it wasn't no key guys, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, when you have that happen, and you're missing a lot of players, and you're already a bad team to begin with, yeah, that's the bad combination. So that's what we saw. Now, here's something that I can kind of segue, because since we're talking about the Lakers, and the game wasn't nothing to talk about, I think the more I look at our free throw struggles, the more I want to bring in Ben Simmons. Because the argument I have for Ben Simmons is he's practically unplayable because he can't shoot free throws. We're shooting free throws at a 50% clip. Like, we've been shooting on an average of at best 71%, 72% as a team at best. So, he's not going to hurt that. Even if he shoots his normal 20-something%, he's just a contributor to our problems rather than bringing it down, unfortunately. And what he does it's masked some of those deficiencies we have in other areas. Remember what I said about us not being able to defend and rebound? Yeah, he will take care of that. He'll take care of that. So we'll just be a bad 3-point shooting and free throw shooting team as opposed to a bad everything else. So, yeah, us shooting poorly from the free throw line adds to the appeal in my mind for or adds to the case, I guess, for bringing him in. Or rather takes away from the case for not, I guess is what I'm saying. It kind of negates that free throw shooting thing being a deal breaker because Russell's shooting terrible from the line and et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. I don't know that we can land Ben Simmons. I think Philadelphia can most definitely get a better deal at this stage in the game. I don't think they waited this long to take trash from the Lakers. So I don't see us getting him. But I'm just saying if we were able to land him, I think that would be something I'd be willing to do right now. In exchange for Russell Westbrook contract, I would do that. I would do that today. And I know Philly would not, so don't get it twisted. I don't think I'm doing them any favors. So, there's that. I've heard people say, the Lakers would be considering trading Russell Westbrook for John Wall. Yeah, I'm sure they would. Guess who wouldn't be? The Rockets. They ain't doing that. Let us not forget that John Wall is the solution for their Russell Westbrook problems. So, needless to say, they're not looking to reacquire that issue. No, I don't think so. Yeah. The reality of the Lakers situation is if they want to get rid of Russell Westbrook, and this is the same thing I said about Ben Simmons, so it's kind of ironic that I have to say this about my own team. But what I said about the Ben Simmons during the summertime is what actually applies to Russell Westbrook and us. We're going to have to attach something we want in order to get rid of Russell Westbrook because essentially he's a salary dump of the highest order at this point because not only is his contract horrible, but he looks horrible too. So this is just like Ben Simmons all over again. Only problem is he's a lot older than Ben Simmons and, again, a lot more deficient in some very key areas than Ben Simmons. So what you end up having is all of Ben Simmons' problems and none of the things that he brings to you as a solution. I hate to look at Russell that way, but he is that way right now. He ain't hitting no threes. He ain't hitting no free throws. Yeah, that's Ben Simmons, but he's also not very tall. He's also not the greatest passer. He's also not the greatest defender. You see what I'm saying? And Ben is all of those things. So it's like, yeah, you'd rather have Ben. Overall, you would. No question about it. And so at this point, it's like even if I wanted to trade Russell Westbrook for Ben Simmons, I'm going to have to throw in THT, probably a couple other things as well, just to get Philly to even be considering that deal. And anybody else for that matter. That's what I'm saying. You have to throw in something to get him up out of here. Because what the incentive is for you is the space that his absence provides you. So all this talk about bringing in some of assets to help you get better, what helps you get better is him leaving so that you can have that space. And that's what the NBA knows. That's why some of these trades that you'll see going forward and some of the trades you look at in the past look so lopsided. It's because the cap space is the value. And it costs. It literally is expensive to acquire cap space. So that's what's happening there. That's what the Lakers are going to have to do. Find a way to get somebody to be willing to take a bad contract off of us attached to a player who's not playing his best ball. The turnover reel really hurts his trade value. That's why I wish Shea and Skip would stop doing that because it's not helping us at all. It's making it much harder to trade him because people are paying attention to just how bad his turnovers are and just how much they hurt our team and how much they could potentially hurt their team in acquiring him. So, yeah, I think Russell's contract about as bad as anybody's in the league today. As of right now, it's about the worst contract in the league, honestly. Because like I said, I'd rather have John Wall. I would. I'd much rather have John Wall right now. Because at the very least, I know John Wall ain't going to be turning the ball over like that, and I know John Wall's going to provide some defense. Yeah, he's going to provide that. So, yeah, man, we stuck with Russell, man. We stuck with him. And the sad thing is that Bron can't win with him. Bron can't win with him. Not with this roster. There's no way. There's zero chance. So, yeah, this season's a wash. Cut and dry. And if the Lakers can't find a way to get out from under Russell Westbrook's contract, next year is probably going to be a wash too. So we ain't got no picks next year either. It will still be attached to him to year 3. You know, that contract is going to be a 4-year deal, if I'm not mistaken, starting like now. So the following year, I don't think we have any picks as well because of what we gave away to get Anthony Davis. So with that year would be a wash as well. Do you see how much of a spiral the Lakers are actually in? I don't think people realize how bad it actually is right now. It's a lot worse. It's a lot worse than just us being bad right now. We about to suck for the next 5-6 years because of this Russell Westbrook contract alone. I kid you not, especially if Anthony Davis comes back less than himself. And I mean, not the self we know him to be, but the guy that we need him to be. If he don't come back as that guy, yeah. So, and the sick thing about this whole situation is, let's just say the Lakers say, okay, we want to blow it up. Let's just trade LeBron James. Let's just be stupid and trade LeBron James. Guess what? You stuck with Russell. Nobody's going to want that contract even then. They're not going to want it even then. You have to stretch that thing to get rid of it. I don't know how the hell. I look at this, and now I'm seeing how it played out. Even beforehand, the risk was never worth it. The chance of this happening made it so that this should have never been done if you're the Lakers. Now, if you're LeBron James, you don't give a damn. You do this to every team you go to. You just want what you want, and when you leave, it's cool. You're welcome. That's LeBron's attitude everywhere he goes. But that don't mean nothing to me as a Laker fan. It means nothing to me. Hell no. You gotta understand, bro. You brought me 1 championship. I got 16 of those when you got here. Now you about to bring me a whole lot of hell because you wanted Russell Westbrook on your team, just like you did to the Cleveland Cavaliers with Tristan Thompson. You're doing the same thing to us with Russell Westbrook. And everyone's gonna say a championship is worth it. It's always worth it. It's always worth it. But if it takes us another 12 years just to get back to it, how worth it was it? And I gotta ask y'all a real question. And I don't have the answer to this, but a real question. Are we sure we wouldn't have won the championship in the bubble with Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, LeBron James, and all them players that we gave away? Who would have probably been either Darius Garland or DeAndre Hunter, and God knows what else we could have fit in because we had cap space. Are we sure that we wouldn't have won in 2020 in the bubble if we didn't make that deal? Because as far as I could tell, yes, the bubble was the most difficult championship to win. But given that Brandon Ingram was an all-star that year, and Lonzo Ball was okay, but the point is you would have had all this cap space. Anthony Davis did provide. He hit that big shot in game 2. He was an excellent defender in a lot of places, just that in the third. But, like, could we not have gotten that production? Like, is it one of those situations where we absolutely would not have been there without Anthony Davis? I am not 100% sure of that. Especially looking at how decimated the Miami Heat were in the finals. I think we would have beat that team without Anthony Davis if we had all those other pieces I just mentioned. So the question to you is, though we thank Anthony Davis for his contributions, and we certainly appreciate that a championship is worth it, I am not certain. I cannot definitively say that we wouldn't have been there any damn way if we didn't make that trade. I can't honestly say that. And most importantly, I think this year would have been better. For sure. We would have definitely had a chance to win it this year. With a healthy BI, the Lonzo that's playing right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cap space on top of that, so we could have got some real players. Oh, yeah. And LeBron James playing like this. Yeah. Nobody foreseen Anthony Davis being this useless. Nobody foresaw this. If we would have seen this, we would have obviously thought otherwise. Nobody, not including myself, saw him becoming this useless. It is what it is, man. Yeah, it is what it is. Great championship in 2020. It was nice. It really was. I enjoyed that. We won it for Kobe. It was worth everything to us. Don't get it twisted. But I do believe that Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball would have had a chance to win that championship too. I do. My name's BDF44. That's what I got, man. I'm out.